Hi, my name is William. I'm 25 years old, and you're currently listening to
CWSS.
It's been like 2 months, right? Last episode was in like April, I think. I have no excuse. I just I guess I feared number 10, right? Like this is like season 2, episode 5, so that's 10 episodes, and I didn't want to let people down in a way. So I didn't want the episode to be bad, but I also wanted the episode to be like extra good. And so I started overthinking it. And then I was like, but what if it's not good enough? What if it's not good at all? What if it's like mid? And I guess that kind of pushed me away from making it for so long. But then I reached a point, aka last week, where I realized that it doesn't matter if it's amazing, if it's just okay, if it's bad, because there's so many more I can make afterwards. You know, I'm still learning how to make these, and I'm still learning how to be comfortable doing it. So yeah, like right now, I put the camera on autofocus, so whatever I do is perfectly focused. But I usually put it on manual focus and try and sit in the same spot. So this is like a new way of trying things, and I hope I hope I'm not done trying new things. Does that make sense? Like I hope that just because I was scared that I don't stay in a box and just don't move. I hope I keep going, I keep moving, and I keep trying new things, and I keep showing you guys new things, and learning basically. Yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to think what I want to say about the weekly recap situation. Like I'm not sure if I want to do another weekly recap video or if I want to do it differently. But for now, we're just gonna skip that because I want to talk about the 3 topics of the day, and then we get right into it. We'll get right into it right away. The weather has been amazing. Sometimes a little too hot, but the weather has been amazing. But the sun's not in the window right now, so I don't need to do the whole like disposition thing. Anyway, hi guys. Today's 3 topics are on the back of the notebook actually, and they are as follows: saying yes, the future of the podcast, and getting back on track. I think I'll put getting back on track second, and then the future of the podcast last, most likely. But so saying yes, I have been saying yes a lot, and I've always wanted to live by the philosophy of saying yes because I feel like you can learn so much, right? Like you can learn so much, as in try so many new things, and then realize, yeah, that was garbage, so fuck that shit, I'm not doing that again, right? So I've been saying yes to a lot of things that I guess not that I would never have tried, but that were kind of different to who I was. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe in the past, I know I wouldn't have said yes to these things. But like now I was like, I wanted to be experimental. I wanted to see what I could do. I wanted to see what life was like. I was just saying yes to like a lot of things. And it led to a lot of cool encounters. I met a lot of cool people. I also was able to kind of like regain how can I say it? Like regain color to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like the world wasn't dim, but I was not happy. I was not confident, and I was just not enjoying life, right? So when I started saying yes, I started enjoying life. I started seeing life for the fun things it is, and I started seeing or meeting new people and them showing me their lives, and I'll be like, wow, you live like this? Like how is that even possible? Or, you know, I was just put in positions where I don't know, I could just like kind of enter a new outer worldly experience. Like, because I'm so used to doing things myself and I'm so used to seeing things myself that when I do meet other people, I always kind of like distance myself because I'm like, okay, maybe they won't like what I do. So, you know, there's a high chance or there's a better chance that I just might as well stay by myself and then do my own thing. And later on, maybe join them, you know? So it was really fun. It was really interesting to just try something new and see how I like it, how I live. And I got to make, like I said, I got to meet a lot of people and I made like 4 good friends, hopefully, that I could still talk to during this week or during the 2 months or the whole month that I wasn't here. I managed to make like a lot of really cool acquaintances and really cool adventures. Actually, I went to Holland 2 times. I went to a festival, a music festival. What else did I do? I went to an art exhibit thing that I usually like. These art exhibits are usually like free, right? So I always say, "Oh yeah, I'm totally coming, dude. I'm totally coming. I'll be there." And then I never go because I don't know. I don't know. I just don't go. And it's nothing to do with the people that are hosting it or anything. It's just like I don't like getting out of my comfort zone a lot. And my comfort zone is like being in bed and playing video games and like just chilling, you know? Or being around people I like and knowing that, oh, no matter what happens today, I know I was with someone that, you know, I vibe with. So there's no problem. So saying yes to all these things, saying yes to the core festival itself, my brother got me free tickets, so we went there and it was a lot of fun. And I thought like, you know, oh, I'm gonna be alone. Like my brother's gonna be with his people. And I don't really know anyone here. Turns out my friends were there, which was really cool. But I still spent the time alone and I was taking a bunch of photos and I don't regret it. You know, I don't regret having gone there and just been like being able to just do what I want to do. It was a lot of fun. I was able to like really just engage. And even in Holland, when I went to Holland with Tina. And then the next week I went to Holland again to meet a friend. And both times were just so much fun. And it was just so like enlightening, I guess you could say. I learned so much. I learned so much about myself and I realized like, yo, I'm cool as shit. And I gotta stop hiding behind this like facade of I'm not good enough, yada yada, you know? I gotta just get good at being me. Yeah, that makes sense. But fast forward to last week when I decided to get back on the podcast and decided to, you know, I guess kind of like turn my life back around. I was talking to someone and his name is Daniel, actually. It's important that you know Daniel because he's going to be on the podcast. I met this guy named Daniel, and Daniel was not like a beacon of inspiration, but his mind kind of worked like mine. And so I asked him like, yo, do you feel like you self-sabotage yourself? And he gave me a definition of self-sabotaging that he does to himself. That was exactly how I felt back in the day. And I realized like, yo, I still feel that way. You know, I still feel like I'm not doing enough that I can do for myself. So when he told me that, he was like, yeah, sometimes when I'm succeeding in something, I kind of like stop. Or sometimes when I want to try something, just the idea of trying it's like enough for me and I decide not to keep going, you know? And I was just like, yo, he's spitting facts. Like, this is real. Because that's exactly how I feel. And like, I feel that way only because I want to do great, and I always want to do great, and I don't want to stick to I don't want to stand on mediocrity, kind of. But I have to also remember that to get to greatness, you have to start from somewhere. You can't be great on the first try, nor the second, nor the third. Shit, even when you think you're great, you're not great until you're great. So yeah, I needed to like wake up from that. And he woke me up, and I told him to his face, I'm like, yo, listen, I've got a podcast. I haven't done an episode in like a month and some weeks, but you're like the perfect person for the podcast. And I want you to be like, either I want you to be a guest like more than once, or we just turn it into like a co-host thing. And he said he's down, so that's really fun. We'll see how that goes. That's part of the future of the podcast, but we'll see how that goes. We got a new artwork coming out and stuff, so that's really cool. Anyway, I'm rambling. But I just wanted to say, start saying yes, because the only thing you can risk is not being in your comfort zone. And that's a really good thing. That's a really good thing. You don't know it yet, but sometimes breaking out of the mold that you are like used to being in kind of helps you understand the way you work. Like, because you're saying yes to all these new things that you're usually not used to doing, then everyone will see like, or you will see, wow, like I usually am that guy in the corner over there, but now I'm not. Like now I'm the guy in the middle of the circle chatting up these people. I don't know. Those are the type of things I noticed. Anyway, next category, or next segment is getting back on track. So this podcast episode is definitely like a recap and a rehash of everything that's happened in the last 10 episodes, but 9 episodes, excuse me. But also it's like me regaining my confidence to come back to in front of you guys. I watched this movie with my friend recently, where this girl has to run a marathon, or she wants to run a marathon eventually during the movie. And she said something where she said, she was a big girl. She was a big girl, and then she was getting smaller so she could run the marathon. But she was also getting smaller because her BMI was high. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the movie. But she said something that I really resonated with. She said something along the lines of like, I want to be me. And so doing this is me. Even if what I was before was still me, I see myself as the person I want to be, right? Like in the future when she was, And because of that, I was like, yo, that's true. That's what I want. That's what I do. That's what I always speak about. Like I always speak about wanting to be as true to myself as I can be. But I always stop myself like halfway. I always like, instead of going all the fucking way, I like fucking pull down the what's that called? The hard brake. What's that called? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The brakes that really stop the car fast. I forgot what it's called. So I pull on those brakes instead of like, slowing down and then maybe assessing the situation and pressing the accelerator again. I just stop. And I stop hard, and I stop, and I don't tell anyone I stopped. I don't tell anyone why I stopped. I just stop, and I don't even know why I stopped. And I fucking hate it. And that's the main reason I want to get back on track, is I don't want to let myself down, even if I already did. I already did let myself down. But I know that that's not it. Like, I'm not done. I'm not done. And I'm also done. I'm trying to get done letting myself down, but I'm not done being who I can be. I'm not done with the access points that I'm going to have. I'm not done like believing in myself, So that being said, everything is gonna get back on track, and like I'm gonna do it slowly. I'm gonna accelerate slowly instead of accelerating super fast, hitting the wall and dying. I'm gonna press the accelerate button real slow and gradually build up my confidence. My fear of letting people down is hopefully gonna stop hindering me. Because it's really weird. It's really weird. The way I think is like, okay, let's say I don't do the podcast next week, right? So in my head, I'm like, oh shit, people are waiting for it on Monday last week. So I might as well not do it this Monday because they didn't get it last Monday. And then now it's 2 Mondays I've missed. So then I'm just like, like, do I need to do it again now? But like now it's just too late. Now like there's no way people are going to listen because they were waiting for it 2 Mondays. Now they know that there's not going to be a third one. And it just accumulates instead of me thinking like a rational human being and being like, okay, I fucked up. You know, apologize to yourself, apologize to the people that listen and get back on it. I just shut down. And that's scary. It's scary because that's me. I think that's the scary part. I don't want to accept it. And so that's why I want to change it. That's why I want to. Yeah, that's why I want to like take control of it because it's controlling me. You know. Anyway, I forget these things are kind of hard sometimes. Yeah. So getting back on track, I'm very much back on track in the street photography. Like so much so. Like the universe is like just giving me opportunities and it's fucking awesome. I went to this marketplace in front of my friend's house and I just got some immaculate pictures. I was just able to get pictures like left, right, and center. It's like every time I pressed the button, the picture just appeared in front of me and it would be a painting. I was like, wow, like this is so much fun. Like, why did I stop? And then I realized while I was taking those photos, it's like I stopped so many other things. Like, why am I stopping that as well? Wait. That cargo train ruining the fucking episode. And then I realized there's so many other fun things that I do that I stopped doing. Like going on my walks. I walk a lot when I'm taking photos, but I don't go for my walks like I used to. Because like now I'm always thinking, oh, I did take the picture. I have to make sure the picture looks pretty. But the other day, I went on a walk, no camera, just like my book. And I was reading the book. And it felt good again. You know, it felt like I don't always need my camera. I don't always need to take photos. Sometimes I can just take a photo for myself in my mind, you know, of the moment. Just live in the moment. And that was really good. I don't know how to say it. I was going to find like a really big ass word, but I couldn't find any. So that was really good. That was really fun. And it made me realize like that was me pressing the accelerate button a little bit and slowly driving into what I hope is going to be my life. I think, was it 3 days ago? Actually, not even 3 days ago. 2 days ago on Saturday, because we're Monday morning right now. Saturday, I walked into this street photography exhibit in Leuven, in my city. I was so surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Like, we have these? And so like I get in there and there's like these like 7 elderly people. I say elderly, maybe like late 50s or early, anyway. And so I'm talking to them and they're talking in Dutch, which was a little hard, but I understood most of it. And I'm talking to them and I tell them like, yeah, I'm a street photographer too. And like, I just saw this and I wanted to see what type of pictures you guys take. I want to see like if what I'm doing is on track. And they said, yeah, go ahead, you know, check it out, everything. So I go walk in, blah, 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 look around. And like, I see my photos are so similar to theirs, right? I see like that what I'm doing is not so far off. But I knew this. I knew that I was like decent, right? And so they asked me for my Instagram and they asked me like, you know, how long have you been doing it and such. And then they started looking at my photos while I'm talking to them and they're like, wow, this guy really has something. Like this guy knows what he's doing. Like I can see the colors. I can see the compositions. I can see like what you're looking for. And it felt so good, you know, like to get not really praise, but it felt so good to be like heard in a way. Like this is what they do and I do it too. And they like what I do, you know? But like they have a whole exhibit, they have like a whole room. And I don't know, it just was so interesting, like to be put on the same level, but at the same time, I was never on another level. Like I was not on a lower level or a higher level. We were just like, we all do this and we all love it. And so if you love something enough, it expresses itself on its own, you know? And yeah, that felt really nice. That felt really fucking good. So I'm really excited to be able to like do more of that shit. They got my email and they said they're gonna hit me up. They said that in maybe in like a few months they're gonna do another expose, and I might be able to submit some of my photos and have them put up on the wall. And that's exciting as fuck. So I'm really excited for that. I'm also excited that I just, took the chance and, walked in there and just told them who I was and what I do without even like flinching. I didn't even think like, oh man, these guys have been doing this for like 20 years, 10 years. These guys are like the predecessors. No, I just said, like, yeah, I do it too. Like, and they embraced me. They accepted me. They didn't even, so that was really nice. And lastly, the future of the podcast, the last segment of the day. I hope you have enjoyed the episode so far. I've rambled on. I've talked about myself a lot, but I'm glad that I was able to like come back like this. Anyway, so the future of the podcast is guests. I want guests on the podcast. I've said I've always wanted guests and I've spoken that shit like daily, but I do really want to have people sit next to me on the camera. Hopefully we'll like just put the camera back or something, or we'll just do it in like public spaces and we could record it on our phones. And then I still have the camera there, but the audio is like coming out from the mobile. It's pretty good. And I just want to be able to really share my ways with other people. And I also want to be able to interview other people. I feel like people need to be heard. I said this in the last episode. I listen to my episodes and I feel like people want to be heard. And sometimes they feel unheard and they feel unloved or unwanted. So they shut down. I'm one of those people. I know I'm heard. I know I'm wanted, but I just shut myself down because I feel like I'm not doing enough to be wanted or heard. So yeah, that's fucked up. So I really hope that I'm able to enter people's minds when I'm interviewing them and really just like break down the pieces of them, like break down who they are, break down who I am. And hopefully like we can build up from all the broken rubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm not going to explain that. Hopefully it made sense. So our first guest hopefully is going to be Daniel. And I really want Daniel to be a recurring guest because I like his mindset. I like the way he talks. And he's a really cool guy. Our first guest normally it was supposed to be Naomi. And then it was supposed to be Felicia? Or Felicie? Oh. But yeah, so we've been like teeter-tattering around guests here. So hopefully Daniel's actually the first guest of the third season. And I think the third season is the last season. So I'm not going to end it on episode 5 of the third season. I'm just going to stay in the third season. Unless I think or find another way to do the podcast, that's the last change I'm going to have for a long time. So it's going to be season 1 was explaining what I think is self-sabotaging and how I self-sabotage myself. Season 2 was more of a jovial look on my life and like more like a rundown of what I like and what I do and how I do it. And season 3 is going to be learning about other people and how they do things and what they do and what they dislike and what they like and what they are and who they are and what they want to be in life. That's the plan. And I'm excited because I've always wanted to try something like this. I've always wanted to try to see if picking people's brains actually is beneficial for both people, for both parties. I like asking a lot of questions. I'm a very big question guy, so it's not like new to me to want to ask questions, or it's not new to me to be like, you said something like this. Are you sure that's real to you? Blah, blah. So I feel like it's going to be a little easy But then again, I always think things are easy and then I end up not doing them. So I might as well shut the fuck up and try. I'm just mad at myself a lot of times and it's not good. I really gotta fix this shit. I hope, having a guest is gonna motivate me enough to keep going. I hope, yeah. No more shutdowns. No more. I can't do this anymore, man. Like I just can't. I can't. It's not okay. I'm really sorry. Um, I'm sorry. I feel like I let down some people, and yeah, that did not feel good. Um, Man, I'm getting teary. That's cool. Uh, it's just yeah, it's just like the main reason it really hurts more than hurting like a person individually is like yeah, it really hurts me, man. Like it really is me at the end of the day. Like I decide what I want to do. I decide what I want to try. I decide all of it. Like I'm the decision maker of my own life, and every time it feels like I make the wrong decision. And fuck, it's like how can you live if you're always stopping yourself from living, it's it's a pain in the ass. It really is. I'm trying not to cry. Okay, I'm trying not to cry. I'm actually gonna go print my CV. I'm gonna try and get a job. I want to work at this clothing store. They're looking to hire, and I know I said I'm not gonna work anymore because of acting and whatnot. But I haven't got a few acting gigs lately, and that scares me for the future. And I don't want to rely on anyone for money. So I'd rather work, even if I don't want to, and stabilize my life a little bit and then get back to acting and stuff. It's not like I can only act once and then that's over. I've got so much time ahead of me, hopefully. And I also have so many things to learn. I'm going to try and go to acting school with the money I'll earn from work. It's like a weekend thing. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Also, I haven't got the job yet, so I haven't even applied. So I don't know why I'm saying like, I'll use the money from that to get the job, to get the acting thing. But I believe in myself and I believe in my competence. The tears have gone, by the way. I'm not crying anymore. But yeah, I just want to. This is like a big sorry episode. It's like I'm saying sorry to a lot of people. I'm saying sorry to myself, and there's no turning back anymore. Like we are slowly accelerating and we're only slowly pressing the brakes. If we have a shorter episode than like, if we have a 10-minute episode, I'm doing a 10-minute episode, I'm no longer hiding behind the barrier or whatever the fuck. I really gotta stop, man. Yo, how many trains are there, bro? Sorry. I'm getting distracted. We are nearing the 30-minute mark, and I feel like there's a lot of rambling in this episode. But I'm not mad about it. I think my mind needed to express itself, and it hasn't done that in a long time, and I wanted to talk to you guys. And so I hope that the words that came out of my mouth made a decent amount of sense. Yeah, I just want to say thank you for listening so far, if you did. Or thank you for watching. And yeah, stay tuned for more episodes. I'm gonna hit up Daniel after this episode, or even after just after this, and I'm gonna make sure that he's down, and I'm gonna give him my address, and we're gonna meet up here. So that's also gonna give me a reason to like really thoroughly clean the house. So that's good. Just thank you. Thank you so much for, and I hope that you start saying yes, because I'm saying yes to myself. Does that make sense? Saying yes to myself. I think that makes sense. Whatever. Anyway, bye bye.